In this review problem, let's use the definition of a Laplace transform to find the Laplace transform of this piecewise defined function. So, as usual, f of s is going to be equal to integral from 0 to infinity e to the minus st times f of t dt. Now, this function is piecewise defined, so between 0 and 1, the function is equal to e to the t, while from 1 to infinity, the function is equal to e to the t plus 1 over 2 dt. Okay, but now we just have to compute these integrals. So integral from 0 to 1, this becomes e to the minus s minus 1 over t dt. The second integral, let's break it up as integral from 1 to infinity. We have e to the minus s, or e to the minus s minus a half times t. So this takes the st, negative st. Here I have plus t over 2, which becomes minus a half t. And then I have an extra e to the 1/2 in front, a constant, dt. And the reason I write it like this is so that I can just use the u substitution to find integrals. So this works out to be negative 1 over s minus 1, e to the minus s minus 1t, evaluated from 1 to 0. This second part becomes minus e to the 1/2 over s minus 1/2, e to the minus s minus 1/2 t, and this goes from infinity to 1. Okay, now let's plug in. So if t equals 1, we get e to the minus s minus 1. If t equals 0, I get e to the 0, so that's 1. Minus e to the 1/2, s to the s minus 1/2. If I plug infinity, that goes to 0. More on that later. Then if I plug in 1, I get e to the minus s minus a half times 1. And so our answer is going to be 1 minus e to the negative s minus 1 over s minus 1. Then here I get minus, a minus becomes plus e to the 1/2 e times negative s to the minus 1/2 over s minus 1/2. And one last simplification I can do. This is 1 minus e to the minus s minus 1 over s minus 1, plus, and this becomes e to the minus s minus 1 over s minus a half. So combining this, if I were to use the law of exponents, I would be able to get this. Okay, so that's that. Now let's take a look back to see where this integral is defined in the first place. This integral is going to be defined as long as this part here is greater than 0. So this is the part of the integral that goes from to infinity. And I have e to the minus something, so this is going to converge as long as I have a negative number here in front of the t. So I need to have s minus a half has to be positive. So s minus a half has to be positive in order for this part to converge in the first place. Or s is greater than 1/2. So the Laplace transform will need to be defined for this problem as long as s is greater than 1/2. And by the computation we just did, that is the actual Laplace transform.